let's hit the field.
It is Thursday, July 10th, and the Yankees were taking on the Mariners. In the final game of a 3-game series, they were going for the sweep, but they had to face off against Bryan Woo, one of the best pitchers in baseball. Could they get it done? My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And welcome back to the Yankees. Maybe humongous walk-off win and series sweep. You cannot say that the Yankees did not battle tonight. We had a lot of complaints over the last several weeks about their lack of heart, but tonight they were nothing but heart, baby. And if you noticed I sounded a little bit down during my intro, it's because when I recorded it, the Yankees were being no-hit through 5 innings, maybe 5 1/3. They ran into a really, really good pitcher tonight who was on top of his game. Eventually, they got to him. They made him throw a lot of pitches in the first inning, and I think that was part of the reason why he wasn't able to complete the no-no. But tonight was one of those games where you look at the pitching matchup, you see Marcus Stroman come in with a 7.45 ERA. You see Bryan Woo with a 2.77 ERA and a whip of under 1. And, you know, the Yankees, they've won some games, but you just feel like they were due for a tough night because they've been putting up a ton of runs, and they're kind of a feast or famine team. And, you know, you think, well, we've won the series. It wouldn't shock me if the Mariners win this one. But maybe after the first inning, when Stroman looks great and Bryan Woo walks the first 2 batters that he faces, you let yourself think, all right, well, maybe this is our night. Maybe we're going to turn it around. And then he fires off 6 no-hit innings. Humongous pinch hit home run tonight from Giancarlo Stanton. He is beginning to look like his full nuclear Stanton self again. Austin Wells had the crap kicked out of him all night long and still ended up getting an enormous game-tying hit in the 9th inning. Walk-off sac fly by Judge. Amazing slide by Anthony Volpe. Now, he had a tough night on offense. He was 0 for 4. He's down to 215. He might need a stint at maybe AAA. But that slide tonight was huge. Not a lot of guys can do that. And great call by the umpire on that one. Just feel like the Yankees took that one and they weren't supposed to.
Hey, Derek. Oh, my God. That is my favorite type of win. I feel like the Yankees stole that one.
100%.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Big win. All right. Hey, bit of fun tonight. I know a lot of you in the chat are baseball trivia dorks like me. I just want to give a quick promotion. The FT Network, of which Pinstripe Territory is a part of, is doing a baseball trivia game on their Chat BCC message board. So if you think you know ball, prove it. They're trying to give away a $400 jersey of your choice. Enter the game, sign up at foulterritory.chat, play some trivia, crush it, and you might win. Let's get to the recap.
All right, let's go. Let's get it going.
Got a couple of super chats here that I want to get to. Ian says, easily going to be the favorite game of the year for him tonight. Lord knows we needed a comeback like this to fire up these guys. 100%. Richard C says, Volpe needs better coaching. A hit wins the game. Referee says, pure luck. Pure luck. You're not wrong. Shane Johnson says, how the hell are Peraza, Beater, Brubaker still employed in MLB? Hell of a win. How the season has turned since belly catch. Yeah, I tweeted today that if the Yankees successfully pulled themselves out of this funk, that catch and subsequent throw by Bellinger against the Mets could be seen as the turning point. In a lot of seasons, there is a turning point. Those of you who remember 2009 will remember that the team was kind of scuffling, and then they had this young catcher named Francisco Cervelli. He hit a big home run in Atlanta. He was not a power guy. He got super excited about it, and it kind of like amplified the team. You know, back in 2017, it seemed like, you know, the team was good because they had Judge and so forth, but he was breaking out. But when they made that trade at the deadline to get like Canely and Frazier and David Robertson, It felt like it injected life into the team even further. And then there was the thumbs down guy, right? And that seemed to set the team off. You had the Toe Night Show. It seems like, when you have a good year, there needs to be stuff like this, right? That catch will go down in infamy if the Yankees pull themselves out of this. Brian Bashman says, what about Stanton? Possibly for the belt. And then Richard C. says, Volpe's like a center shooting threes when down by 1.
He's got a lot of fucking balls.
All right, so let's get to the recap here. Did you guys hear that Jazz Chisholm going to be in the home run derby? I used to watch the home run derby like every year, but the last couple of years I find it's too frantic. Like they're swinging so rapidly, you don't even really get to see the ball come down, and they don't go as far because guys are tired. Not going to lie, I hope the Jazz hits like 2 or 3 home runs in the first round and they go 450 feet, but I hope he gets knocked out of the competition early because, look, I want to get a couple of highlights, but I don't want him to wear himself out or screw up his swing at the very moment that he's beginning to not swing for the fences every time. He's just now starting to learn how to hit under control. I don't want him getting into home run mode. So let him take some swings. I hope he hits 3 home runs and gets the hell out of there. Dominguez back in the leadoff spot tonight. Good at bat to begin the game with a walk. Grisham also walked. And like I said, that long first inning, Wu threw about 25 pitches. That probably kept him, if he had thrown 6 or 7 pitches in the first inning, he probably goes, 8 innings without allowing a hit at least. Who knows how the game turns out at that point. But yeah, Brian Wu, I have to admit, he's my favorite non-Yankees pitcher to watch. So tonight was fun, and I'm glad the Yankees won, but I'm also excited to watch him pitch well. A lot of times when the Yankee game is over, like, this time of night, I want to watch a little bit of baseball, but the West Coast games are the only ones that are on. So a lot of times I watch the Mariners, and Wu, whenever he's on, I make sure to watch because he is filthy. The fastball is electric. He's a surgeon. So it was surprising to see him walk 2 guys right out of the gate. And it looked like for a while that might be the high point of the game for the Yankees because then he took a no-hitter into the 7th inning. We had some good defense in this game. Ben Rice made about 4 nice defensive plays. There was one hard-hit sharp ball that he made the play on. He made a great pick to end the 4th inning. He saved an error from Volpe again. So he looked good on defense. Stroman. Stroman will spotlight him in a second, but 5 innings, 2 runs. You'll take that every time out from Stroman. That's a 3.6 ERA roughly. I would take that every time from him. Tonight is not a bad start for him. If he keeps you in the game and gives you 5 innings, yeah, you're still going to need to get some outs from the bullpen, and tonight they probably had to extend Clayton Beeter a little bit longer than they would have. Definitely need to go out and get an arm, but I'll take that from Stroman. I absolutely will take it. But yeah, Beeter threw a good 6th inning, 7th inning, 2 walks and a home run. At that point, when the home run went out of the ballpark from Polanco, it was like watching the last lifeboat sail off into the darkness. But baby, we found a raft. We found a raft. Jazz broke up the no-hitter. Wells broke up the shutout with the sac fly. And then Stanton with the just absolute opposite field blast. Getting ready to go on one of those nuclear runs. The ultimate male. Ultimate meatball. I told you, when he's hitting the ball to right field, that's when the nuclear isotopes begin, rattling or whatever the hell nuclear isotopes do. What do I look like? Oppenheimer? Anyway, Giancarlo with a beard, super scary. He's going to be one of my picks for this weekend against the Cubs, and that's going to be a very tough series. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. Bellinger singled to make it 15 straight games with a hit for him. It looked like his hitting streak was about to get snapped, and he was able to salvage it. 2 15-game hit streaks this season for Mr. Bellinger. Jazz popped out to right field. Rice walked to load the bases for one of the hottest hitters on the team, Austin Wells, who ripped a line drive single to tie the game against one of the best closers in the game, Munoz, one of the hardest throwers, 1.54 ERA now tonight after that outing. Still fantastic. Devin Williams had the airbender absolutely bending tonight. I mean, it was filthy the last couple of nights, honestly. Disgusting movement to strike out a Rosarena. Easy inning for him in the 10th. And then, Peraza could not get the job done in the 10th inning with the bunt. It wasn't all positive tonight. That's a definite negative. We have got to get better at getting bunts down. I don't care if you got to practice it before the game like a high school team. Get bunts down. You have that traject machine. Turn it up to 100 with nasty sliders like a relief pitcher. Maybe even randomize it and just work on bunting. Just work on bunting. It's not hard. Anybody can do it. You just got to deaden the baseball. Catch the baseball with the bat. These are professional athletes. They should be able to do this. Honestly, I give him the take sign every single time up. I like his chances of walking better than I like his chances of ever picking up a hit, Peraza, or doing anything productive with the bat. But I digress. Goldie pinch hit for Dominguez. They walked him, and then Judge walked it off with a sac fly. And since we already did the wind sound effect, let's go ahead and fast forward to the belt. Mr. Austin Wells. A lot of candidates. Devin Williams, honorable mention for his great performance in the 10th inning. Anthony Volpe with the slide. Not belt worthy, I don't think, but definitely honorable mention worthy. And then Giancarlo Stanton with the big 3-run home run. My hunch is that he is getting ready to go crazy this weekend. It would not shock me if he hits a couple of home runs against the Cubs. All right, let's talk about Stro. The Stro show tonight got the ERA down to a very sinister 6.66 through 90 pitches tonight. 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Like I said, you'll take this from him every time out. Not a strikeout pitcher, more of a soft contact pitcher. I love the bounce back to him in the first inning when he just casually kind of threw up his hand and caught it, kind of like Cliff Lee in the World Series that one year. But, hey, no decision, but played a part in this win. If he had gotten shellacked, like a lot of us expect him to be most nights, Yankees probably don't win this game. So let's take a look at the series. And, hey, a lot to like about a sweep. Jazz, red hot. He had the 2 home run game. He broke up the no-hitter tonight. He's going to be at the home run derby. Cam Schlittler made his major league debut, and he has electric stuff. 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Fantastic, fantastic stuff. I'm a believer. The same way that I believe in Dominguez, I believe in Cam Schlittler. He's one of these guys that the first time I saw him, I was like, that guy is going to be filthy. Just upper 90s fastball, 94-mile-an-hour splitter. His name is going to screw us up a lot. Slider, 94-mile-an-hour slider. And then, the arm angle is tough. Tall guy, all arms and legs, gangly. Dominguez, no hits tonight, but he drew a walk to lead off the game. He's been getting into the leadoff spot more, and he's improving. Volpe still struggling. He had the slide tonight, but 0 for 4, and I think it might be time to give him a quick rest in the minor leagues after the break. We'll see, but there's nobody really to replace him with. I mean, unless you pick up a third baseman and put Peraza at short, and then, Peraza, is he going to hit any better? I mean, he's hitting 70 points lower, right? He's hitting, what's he hitting? 151? He's at 64 points lower than Volpe. Bellinger, hit streak, as we mentioned. Wells, he was beat up, but he is now heated up as well. And Stanton, beginning to crush baseballs. Very important. And next, the New York Yankees will take on the Chicago Cubs, who are very, very good at Yankee Stadium here. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You just swept a series. That's great, but momentum does not mean anything unless you can keep it. You have got to keep this momentum going. And think about finishing the first half strong, right? You want to feel good at the break. You want to win this series. Just get it done. It's easier said than done, but right now you're riding that hot streak. You're hitting the ball well. Even on a night where a guy throws 7 shutout innings against you, or basically you win the game 6 and score 6 runs. 6 runs in the final 3 innings. So you'll take that. Now, these Cubs, they are good. First place in the NL Central. They've got some legit firepower on their roster. Seiya Suzuki, very quietly, been one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball. 25 home runs, 77 RBIs, 869 OPS. Michael Busch, another guy that nobody talks about nationally, but he can rake. 18 home runs, 943 OPS. You give this guy stuff to hit at Yankee Stadium, he's going to punish it You got PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong. He's the type of player that Yankees fans would absolutely love if he wore pinstripes. He plays fast. He plays hard. He's a lot like Brett Gardner, already a 5-WAR guy this year. He is electric, one of those rare dudes who changes the game in all different aspects, defensively, on the bases, offensively. Now, they got a prospect named Matt Shaw, who a lot of people were looking forward to. He is having a tough start to the year, not doing too much. Kyle Tucker, a guy that a lot of Yankees fans are expecting to be in pinstripes with the Yankees next year. I wouldn't bet on it just yet, but certainly a possibility. 17 home runs, 55 RBIs so far. This is a first-place team coming into your building with something to prove, and you've got to match that energy. So the Yankees need this series not only for the standings, but to make a statement and to continue that momentum. You don't want to sit on a series loss or a series sweep for a week. So handle business, send a message, then go to the beach. Quick word. It's time for your Derek weekend picks from DraftKings. I am feeling good about some of our offense right now. Aaron Judge, I'm predicting 2 home runs in the series. He's due for another little mini surge. He's making a push to try and pass Cal Raleigh by the All-Star break, I think, and I think 2 or 3 home runs is what he's going for. I think he's going to at least get 2. He's also shooting for home run number 350. And a lot of times when he's being pitched to regularly, he goes off. And right now you have to pitch to him because Bellinger's hitting, Stanton's hitting, and I think that they're going to have to pitch to Judge a little bit this weekend. Cody Bellinger on fire lately. I'm predicting 4 hits for him and a home run among that. I think that going up against a team that traded you tends to, get guys, light a fire under him a little bit. But his departure did allow the Cubs to financially get Kyle Tucker. So I'm calling it right now, 4 hits for Cody Bellinger, and one of them's leaving the yard. I think he's going second deck, baby. I'm thinking second deck for Belly. Stanton, he's going deep. Maybe multiple times, but I'm counting on at least one. And it's a guarantee at this point. If he plays, he's going deep. His at-bats have been better, fewer ugly chases, and when you see him start to hit the ball to right field, not only in the home runs to right field, but the line drives to right field, that means there is a home run barrage coming. And usually, the first 1 or 2 of the home runs are opposite field, right? And you're starting to see that. And now the pitchers are going to start trying to sneak the fastball in and be like, well, he's hitting the ball away really well. We got to try and change the look. They're going to try and sneak one in on him. And if he's balanced and he's getting his hands in there, that's when he hits one 470 feet. So I think if he does go deep, I'm taking the over on 450 feet. Ben Rice, I'm giving him 3 RBIs in this series. Could be a sac fly and a 2-run double in the gap, maybe a 3-run home run, but the kid is due. He's been down a tick with his stats lately, but he is a good hitter. I believe in Due. I know that he feels like he should be doing more, producing more, and I think this could be a good weekend for him to finish off the first half strong, a very good first half for him. He was 1 for 3 tonight. He hit the ball hard. He always hits the ball hard. Got the OPS under 790. He wants to go into the All-Star break with an OPS over 800. So those are your Derek weekend predictions. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code FOUL. That's code FOUL for new customers. Get $150 bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Quick legal stuff for 28, 30 seconds, something like that, and then back with your final comments as we wrap up a big Yankees sweep.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
All right, so got a couple more super chats. D's channel says, bum of the day, Oswald Peraza for not knowing how to place a bunt.
Damn bum, you know that? Bum.
My bum is on the
Yankees. Richard C. says, Yanks playing Jazz at third base cost him an all-star start. Yeah, maybe. Also, the injury. He was out for, about a month? And he still had 17 home runs? I mean, if he had been taking this approach that he's taking right now, he'd probably have 25 home runs. playing second base, you're right. That would have upped his defensive value. 100%. 100%. Human being says, how did the Yankees win that game? How did they do it? It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Eric C. says Suzuki was one of the biggest snubs for the All-Star game. He was a big-time free agent, and I know a lot of Yankees fans, myself included, were advocates of bringing him in. He got off to like an okay start in the major leagues. He was kind of like Hideki Matsui in that the power didn't translate right away, but after a couple of years, it's come around. And it's weird. Wrigley last year, the wins were just kind of blowing in all year, and so numbers were down offensively. But this year, much, much better, and you're seeing the power numbers go up for everybody. Joe Higashi says, Battle of the Pizzas. Look, I recently had Chicago pizza for the first time. My buddy Rob, I went to his house and we ordered it. I got to say, don't like it. Not a fan. I prefer the thin New York style. I want, when I pick it up and fold it, for the cheese to be like falling off. I want to have to stop the cheese with my fingers, and it's good. I want it to be so hot. I want the oil. I want to be like, dang. And then I want to just try and eat the cheese as it's falling off the pizza in clumps. And as the rest of the pizza cools, I'll just eat it normal. But those first few bites where you're battling the cheese, but it's just so hot, you can't even let it cool because it's so delicious. God, I'm ordering a pizza right now. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for watching. Had a fun time tonight. Yankees sweep. Reminder, check out NYYDesigns.shop. It is where we do a lot of our business, the merch, the Yankees merch. It helps the channel greatly. And then Brian Bashman, last chat, says, is Paul O'Neill the new Scooter? Holy cow! Cannolis! I'll see you next time. If you made it this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068. Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through NYYDesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, NYYDesigns.shop. And check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.